The Mike North Show here on Fox Sports Radio, foxsportsradio.com, north-to-north.com, and ORTHDO and ORTH.com is where I do the 1-minute documentaries, I'm just saying, where I'll probably throw in something about this Laker game, and we're pleased to have with us from LakerNation.com, David Brickley. And Dave, now what's the angle? Oh, the Lakers were flat. They'll be all right when they go back to Los Angeles. I mean, here's a team that they're playing, Chris Paul taking over, being a one-man gang like Derrick Rose. David West has been injured. He's out. There's some guys getting their legs here, but this should not be happening to this Laker team, should it?
No, not at all, and thanks for having me, Mike.
You're welcome, Dave.
It takes me back to that Houston series 2 years ago when the Lakers, it took 7 games to end Houston. They didn't have Tracy McGrady or Yao Ming. Both their stars were out, yet it took that long to get rid of the Houston Rockets, which didn't have the talent at all capable to go up against the Lakers. So it reminds me of that type of series for L.A.
Well, let's talk about it seemed like it was a chippy game. I mean, Kobe and Chris Paul went at it a couple times, but there seemed to be some chippiness between Kobe. Gasol missed an easy shot down on one end, and then they came back down later on, and he made a three-point play, and it seemed like everything was better. But Kobe was staring at Gasol, and the body language right now just does not look good to the Lakers. I guess that's going to happen when you lose, but it just seems that there's a little bit more to it than just a won or lost situation.
Well, yeah, the player you're talking about, too. I mean, Kobe hit him right between the numbers, kind of like a football terminology there. But, that just can't happen down towards the end of the ball game. And Pau Gasol, let's face it, the first 2 games only had 8 points. I think he was 4 for 19 from the field in the first 2 games. If you're an all-star and you're considered one of the best big men in the league, it's just, it can't happen.
His brother's playing better than him.
What's that?
His brother Mark is out playing him in Memphis.
No, exactly. No, you make great points. So I think with Kobe and some of the other players, especially with Gasol, he's not playing up to what he's capable of, and sometimes that gets kind of frustrating when you're trying to close the team out. When you see Dallas and Portland, that series is going to go long. It would have been nice if the Lakers could have ended this 1-5.
All right, now just like Derrick Rose, now Kobe got dinged up at the end of the game. Any concerns there? I mean, Derrick Rose today was seen wearing a walk-in boot. They're going to take an MRI. I think it's precautionary. Who knows what's going to happen? But with Kobe Bryant, he didn't want to come out. They took him out for a minute, went back in. You think there's any issue there?
Well, I think it is just because he injured it earlier towards the end of the regular season against Dallas. So it's pretty much he's re-aggravating. The injury that just happened wasn't that traumatic, but if you look at it, I mean, he's re-injuring an injury a left ankle that wasn't 100% to begin with. So it's definitely going to be something to monitor, and that's the difference. That's why you want to beat these teams when you have the opportunity, because a tweaked ankle like that, when these games are only a day or 2 in between, could be all but the difference. But, we all know Kobe Bryant. I don't think his pain threshold is a lot higher than the average human being, so he'll find a way to get out there in Game 5.
With David Brickley from LakerNation.com here on the Mike North Show on Fox Sports Radio, and, Phil Jackson. I mean, really, what do you do? I mean, Artest, Gasol, you got the pedigree players. I mean, they got to perform. Lamar Odom. All they got to do, look, this Hornet team, I don't know if the Lakers think they can just mail it in against them, but it's apparent that in these playoffs, what we've seen is a lot of underdogs winning. Do you think that they still don't take them seriously? I mean, they can't be like that. Chris Paul was the best player on the court. See, that's the difference between Jordan and Kobe. I meant to bring this up because earlier I brought this up. When Kobe played the Celtics 2 years ago and the Celtics won the championship, Pierce won the MVP. When Jordan was on the basketball court, nobody ever beat him for MVP. And in this series, it seems like half the games now, Chris Paul's been the better player of the two. And if that's going to happen, the Lakers may have a tough road. Yeah,
and he had 0 points, let's not forget, in the first half.
Right.
He came back in that third quarter. I believe he had 12 and kind of woke up. But
Bad
game.
Yeah,
that was the first time since 2004 that he's had 0 points going into halftime. So you're absolutely right. It just can't happen. But, again, I just don't put too much credence into game by game. I mean, like we say, you go back to 2 years ago with Houston. I mean, that's a 7-game series. I think all that matters if you just advance round to round. I mean, when the Celtics, like you said, in 2008, won the title, it took them 7 games in each series just to get to the finals. So I've kind of taught myself to not put too much emphasis into each game and kind of overreact to it.
All right, now you know what? I have not seen your website, so I got to fess up. I found out you were coming on. I'm going to check out your website.
Cool.
is your website pro-Laker, or is it negative Laker, or is it somewhere in between?
It's definitely pro-Laker, but we try to report the news as well, and just whatever Laker-relevant information is out there, we want to get out to our viewers. So, and then also with our podcast as well, we're going after every single game, for the playoffs. So we're having fun with that and bringing callers in. And we also talked to the other side. We had the Hornets play-by-play guy come on last show. So just trying to give the Laker Nation out there all the news they can get.
Right, because you know what? Okay, so what do you think the calls are going to be like tomorrow for LakerNation.com? Is there going to be panic in the street? Because
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know about up in Chicago, but I know.
When Jordan lost, when they were 72-10, when they were like 61-4, and they lost the game, the phone lines lit up. People were having a heart attack.
Yeah, no, especially in the playoffs, but even in the regular season. I mean, Laker fans go insane when the Lakers do. I mean, because you're right. You've made this point. I mean, during this interview. I mean, with the players on the Laker team, I mean, Chris Paul aside, that's a bunch of average players on the starting lineup. So there's no excuse they should be sweeping this team. So anytime they're not getting up for these games or they have a bad game overall, Laker Nation just won't take that for an answer.
See, like in Indiana, like the other day, half the stadium was Bull fans. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
but they were absolute Bull fans that came from Chicago.
Yep.
With the Lakers in other stadiums, I know they have a good following, but are they fans that follow them, or are they fans that live in the cities they're in? I believe they're like the Dallas Cowboys, where there's fans of the Cowboys in every city. Where the Bull fans come with the Bulls, they're like a rock group, just like when Jordan was there. Now with Rose, they're following them all over. Same, I think with the Laker fans, they're already there.
No, yeah, they're all around the world. They're not traveling per se, like you said. They're everywhere. We look at some of our website stats and some of our download numbers for the podcast. We got people in China, the United Kingdom, Australia. It really is America's team as far as the NBA goes, and they got places everywhere where there's a lot of Laker fans. Golden State, Sacramento, you'll see it. I mean, everywhere there's a group of Laker fans. There'll be 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people there in the lower bowl that will be chanting Kobe MVP every day.
Well, you know what? Maybe I'll get you on North to North. We'll talk. We'll swap ideas.
Yeah,
who knows?
Beautiful, man.
All right, buddy. I know what you. Hey, it's a tough job. Somebody's got to do it. David Brickley, LakerNation.com. We'll get you back on, David. The playoffs go on.
Appreciate
Take care.
Time. Thanks.
All right. Take care. Hey, I know what them guys at the websites go through. I like that guy.